The rain hammered against the hospital windows like 1,000 desperate fingers clawing for entry, each drop carrying the weight of Marcus Chen's breaking heart. His daughter Emma lay motionless in the sterile white bed, machines beeping their mechanical lullaby while tubes snaked from her small frame like the tentacles of some medical monster. 3 months. 3 months since the accident, and still no sign of consciousness. The doctors spoke in hushed tones about minimal brain activity and preparing for the worst, but Marcus refused to listen. He couldn't lose her. Not Emma. Not his everything. As CEO of Chen Industries, Marcus commanded boardrooms worth billions, but here in this pediatric ICU, his empire meant nothing. Money couldn't wake his daughter. Power couldn't heal her broken body. For the first time in his 42 years, Marcus Chen felt utterly helpless. "Sir?" A soft voice interrupted his vigil. He looked up to see a young woman in scrubs standing hesitantly by the door. She was maybe 25, with kind eyes that seemed too old for her face and hands that bore the calluses of hard work. Her name tag read Sofia Martinez, Custodial Services. "I'm sorry to bother you," she continued, her accent carrying the musical notes of her Mexican heritage. I've been cleaning this room for weeks now, and I see you here every day. I wanted to say I'm praying for your little girl." Marcus nodded curtly, turning back to Emma. He'd grown tired of well-meaning strangers and their empty condolences. But Sofia didn't leave. Instead, she began her work quietly, moving around the room with practiced efficiency. Unlike the other custodial staff who rushed through their duties, Sofia cleaned every surface with meticulous care, as if this sterile space was her own home. Over the following days, Marcus began to notice things. Sofia always arrived during visiting hours, never interrupting his time with Emma. She would hum softly while she worked lullabies. Marcus realized, songs her grandmother had sung to her in Guadalajara. Sometimes she would pause by Emma's bedside and whisper something in Spanish, her lips moving in what looked like prayer. "What do you tell her?" Marcus asked one evening, surprising himself with the question. Sofia startled, nearly dropping her cleaning supplies. "Oh, I tell her about the butterflies," she said, her cheeks flashing. "My abuela always said that sick children dream of butterflies because they're angels in disguise, waiting to carry their souls to better places. But I tell Emma that she has too much flying to do here first." Something twisted in Marcus's chest. This stranger, this janitor who made minimum wage and probably struggled to pay her own bills, was investing emotional energy in his daughter's recovery. It was more than most of his high-powered associates had done. As weeks passed, Marcus learned Sofia's story in fragments. She worked 3 jobs to support her younger siblings and ailing mother. She dropped out of nursing school when her father was deported, sacrificing her dreams to keep her family afloat. Yet every shift, she brought the same gentle presence to Emma's room, treating his daughter with a tenderness that broke and mended his heart simultaneously. One night, Marcus arrived to find Sofia reading to Emma from a worn children's book in Spanish, her voice painting pictures of brave princesses and magical kingdoms. She looked up, embarrassed, when she noticed him. "I'm sorry, Mr. Chen. I know I shouldn't. Please," he said quietly. "Continue." As Sofia's voice filled the room with stories of hope and adventure, Marcus made a decision that would change everything. The next morning, he called his assistant. "I want to offer Sofia Martinez a full scholarship to nursing school," he announced, "and a guarantee that her family will be taken care of while she studies." His assistant looked puzzled. "The janitor, sir, might I ask why?" Marcus couldn't explain it then. He only knew that this young woman's kindness had illuminated something in the darkness of his despair. But when he approached Sofia with the offer, her reaction was not what he expected. She stood frozen in the hallway, tears streaming down her face. Then, to his shock, she shook her head. "I can't accept this, Mr. Chen. I don't understand. This is your dream, isn't it? To be a nurse?" Sofia wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. "You don't understand what it's like to be me. To have people think you're only kind because you want something. I clean toilets and empty trash cans, and people look through me like I'm invisible. But your daughter, she's made me feel like I matter, like my prayers and my stories have value." Her voice cracked. "You don't deserve me taking your money. I'm not doing this for a reward." Marcus stared at her, This remarkable young woman who was refusing a life-changing opportunity because she thought it would somehow cheapen her compassion. In that moment, he saw his own privilege clearly for the first time, via how his wealth had insulated him from understanding the pure motivations of people like Sophia. "But I need you," he said, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. "Not as an employee or project. I need you because you've shown me something I'd forgotten existed. You've loved my daughter without expecting anything in return. You've reminded me that money can't buy the things that matter most." Sophia's eyes widened at his raw honesty. "Let me explain," Marcus continued. "This isn't charity. It's not guilt or pity. It's recognition. You have a gift for healing that goes beyond medical training. Emma responds to you in ways she doesn't respond to the nurses or doctors. Your presence in her room has been the only light in my darkest hours." He paused, struggling with vulnerability he wasn't accustomed to showing. "I'm not offering you money because you deserve it. I'm offering it because the world deserves to have you as a nurse, because other children like Emma deserve to have someone like you caring for them." Sophia was quiet for a long moment. Then she did something unexpected as she hugged him. This powerful CEO, this man who controlled boardrooms and commanded respect, found himself being embraced by a janitor in a hospital hallway. And it was exactly what he needed. 3 days later, Emma opened her eyes. The doctors called it miraculous. Marcus called it love. As his daughter squeezed his hand and whispered "Daddy" for the first time in months, Sophia stood quietly in the corner, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you," Emma whispered, looking not at her father, but at Sophia. "I heard your butterfly stories. They helped me find my way back." 2 years later, Emma Chance celebrated her 8th birthday at her father's estate, surrounded by friends and family. But the guest of honor, aside from Emma herself, was Sophia Martensen, now halfway through her nursing program, her textbooks funded by a scholarship she'd finally accepted. As Sophia pushed Emma's wheelchair around the garden, pointing out real butterflies and telling stories about their magical powers, Marcus watched from the patio. His assistant approached with quarterly reports, but Marcus waved them away. He'd learned something invaluable from a young woman who cleaned floors and emptied trash bins. The most precious things in life couldn't be bought, only earned through genuine human connection. Sophia hadn't needed his money to be extraordinary, as she'd been extraordinary all along. But by accepting his help, she'd allowed him to become part of something bigger than profit margins and market shares. Sometimes the richest people are the ones with the least. Sometimes the most powerful gesture is admitting you need help. And sometimes, the most valuable employees are the ones who don't see themselves as employees at all, but as human beings who choose kindness every single day. Marcus Chan was still a CEO, still a billionaire, still a man of tremendous influence. But now he was also a man who understood that true wealth wasn't measured in dollars, it was measured in moments like these. Watching his healthy daughter laugh with the angel who had helped bring her back to life,